He is going to score underneath the sticks. What a statement.
Has it come off his leg? It seems like it has. What a try from Stuart here, though. Captain taking it in his own hands.
It's a try for the captain.
Try time by October in for the try.
It's Monument in the second half, carried nicely. Try time.
Down the blind side for Oakdale.
Skitterende voete deur sy.
Hierdie manne van Grey College as hulle opbeweeg na die kom.
And out of nowhere, try scored by Durbanville.
Oh, he's going to go all the way, will he? In the left-hand corner.
What a run by the feather. Bobby Alexander, that is phenomenal, sir. Spots a gap. Quino on the outside centre.
Dag 1 van die Noordsuid toernooi, so 'n wedstryd dit aangebreek. En wat 'n wedstryd is dit nie wat voor lê nie. Die Gasheer skool, een van Suid-Afrika se grootste rugby skole, Afrikaans Hoërseunskool Pretoria, oftewel Affies. Hulle speel teen Oakdale, 'n landbouskool van Riversdal. En hou gerus dop in die Affies span vir Erik Joost en Kyle van die Kerkie slotpaar. As ook die skakelpaar, Leighton Horn en Rian Gerber. En Kewan Norke wat van die agterhoede af baie slaankrag verskaf. En 'n hoofafrigter, Reino van der Merwe, wat ook die direkteur van rugby is by Affies. 'n Man wat voormalig ook by Garsfontein was. En hy sal kyk of hy hierdie jaar 'n groot impak in Affies se rugby kan maak. Dan 'n manne van Riversdal van die plaas, Oakdale Landbouskool. Kyk gerus uit vir Paul de Villiers, kaptein in die nommer 6 stry. Neil Leroux, die skramskakel, hoog aangeskrewe skramskakel. En dan ook die agste man Philip Kleinhans hou gerus dop. Hoofafrigter Malan Du Plessis. En Oakdale met een van sy beste spanne in die jare, of so word daar vertel. En hulle sal graag wil sorg vir 'n groot vertoning in die hoofwedstryd op dag 1 van die Noordsuid toernooi. Saam met my is Lucky Letsabo. En Lucky, 'n groot oomblik vir Affies wat op hulle tuisveld speel.
Certainly, thanks, Johan. We saw the second teams play a little bit earlier on, and geez, a textbook performance we saw from the Affies second team. So expect nothing less from the first side here this evening. And then you look at that bench as well from Affies, all those players and all that experience coming through from the guys that played a little bit earlier. So they'll be loose, they'll be raring to go. And the rugby we've seen this afternoon, it certainly is going to be exciting, isn't it?
Affies natuurlik een van die groot rugbyfabrieke in Suid-Afrika. En hulle skoolhoof meneer Peregrine Joint wat vanaand ook sake sal dophou. Natuurlik hulle voormalige skoolhoof Dr. Edwards homself ook 'n springbok gewees. En manne soos RG Snyman en Ivan van Sail, Pierre Spies, Fourie de Pre, die lys gaan aan en aan. En een van die groot rugbyfabrieke en teelaardes van Suid-Afrikaanse sportsterre. Natuurlik ook die tuiste van 'n redelike goeie cricketspeler in Abraham Benjamin de Villiers. Hy het al so effe naam gemaak in die cricketwêreld. En ook 'n leerling, oud-leerder van Affies. Maar vir nou eers is dit Morney Elsie loskakel van Oakdale. Hy gaan sake vir ons aan die gang kry hier. En 'n mooi hoë hangskop. Baie goed ingeneem deur die buitesenter Ruwan Look aan die kant van Affies. Skramskakel Leighton Horn, hy gebruik die regtervoet. Baie hoog, wen nie baie veld nie, maar baie goed in die lug uitgevat is dit Adrian Joubert. Weer eens Horn en dadelik is dit die Affies wat hulle groot manne inspan, Milan Ferreira wat die bal opdra. Goeie verdediging aan die kant van Oakdale. En die skeieregter sê nee, hy verdediger het nie vinnig genoeg weggerol nie. Skuldige party was Johan Balt aan die kant van Oakdale. En Affies met die eerste geleentheid om punte aan te teken. Lucky, 'n lekker lang skop waarvoor Morney of Rian Gerber alhoewel gaan aanlê.
Judging by the fly half in the second team game, I mean, he had some monster kicks there. So if there's somebody going to be better than him, certainly going to be one of those. But expect much of the same from the second team game. You'll see what Affies does really, really nicely. They set 2 quick pods up, suck the defenders in and set it out wide, which is what they tried to do there. Unfortunately, Oakdale trying to stop that and illegally so.
Ja, Affies oor die jare vir baie goeie loskakels opgelewer. Ek dink aan spelers so ver terug soos oorlede François Swart, Tiaan Snyman wat 'n kanon van 'n linkervoet gehad het vroeg in die 2000s. Roan de Swart en wat nou vir die Dolfyne cricket speel, maar ook Kruivenbeek rugby vir 'n Transvaal gespeel het in die loskakelposisie. Gerber tref met die regtervoet. Die afstand is definitief daar. Ja, skitterskop aan die kant van Affies en eerste punte op die tellbord. Die behoort aan die gasheerspan. Affies 3, Oakdale 0.
Intentions very early on here, Johan, so Oakdale need to be careful anywhere in the park. Clearly a point scoring opportunity for the home team.
Affies skitterend ingeneem en hier sommer baie spasie. Oakdale die word in die slaap gevang, so 'n steekskoppie vorentoe deur Affies se agste man en 'n baie goeie werk gedoen aan die kant van Oakdale deur Philip Kleinhans. Dit was Dylan Smith, die agste man van Affies, met 'n wonderlike loopie en ook 'n goeie steekskoppie. En dan is dit Oakdale wat 'n sig van verligting kan slaak, maar Oakdale aan die slaap gevang van die afskop.
They're really struggling with the pace of this game here that Affies has set for them, Johan. They just need to settle a little bit and get their defensive structures in order. In terms of Affies, I mean, you know, we speak about home ground advantage. They'll be well familiar with what's on hand here tonight.
Affies wil daar die lyn staan wen, agter in die lyn staan. Nou sit Leighton Horn wat krap vir die bal. Gerber, hy versprei wyd. En weer is die eerste slagverdediging van Oakdale wat so 'n bietjie lol. Philip Kleinhans wat weer die redwerk moet doen. Leighton Horn, hy kyk na sy opsies. Dan gee hy hom aan een van die voorspelers. En Oakdale se verdediging die keer baie sekuur. En nommer 13 Jaco Pinaar wat baie goeie werk oor die bal doen. En die eerste strafskop in hierdie wedstryd aan Oakdale. En 'n geleentheid vir hulle om besoek af te lê in Affies halfgebied.
Much better there from the previous encounter that we saw earlier within the laws of the game. Stayed very nicely on his feet there and resulting in the penalty going the way of Oakdale. First time we've seen them in the opposition 22. Let's see what they can muster up.
Lucky Houger is vanaand dop die nommer 9 van Oakdale, O'Neil Leroux. Fantastiese speler en baie hoog aangeskryf. As ons sien nie Duplessis wat hierdie lyn staan gaan voer. Goeie bal voorbemeester deur Oakdale en hulle besluit om 'n dadelike dryfmaal beweging aan die gang te sit. Sommer 'n van 'n nommer 2 bal af. En baie goed is dit hierdie Oakdale pak wat vorder. En dan is dit die einste Neil Leroux wat wag vir die bal. Leroux lyk of een van sy losvoorspelers, ja, Philip Kleinhans die beer vorentoe. En 'n baie vinnige ondersteuning by weer is dit Leroux. Mornael, hy trap van die regtervoet en hy vind so 'n bietjie spasie. Verdediging van Affies wat daarin bykom. Neil Leroux, hy gesels nou in die hande van Paul de Villiers, die kaptein. Hy beer so 'n meter of 2 vorentoe. Nou weer Kleinhans, hy's baie prominent hier, die losvoorspeler Philip Kleinhans, agste man van Oakdale. Leroux, hy speel aan die regterkant. Nou weer Paul de Villiers. En Paul de Villiers is oor. Kaptein van Oakdale. Hy kry sy span se eerste 3 en Lucky die eerste keer wat hulle in die halfgebied van Affies kom, teken hulle 5 punte aan.
Absolutely brilliant, and a coach won't complain. We just asked now what they can muster up in terms of getting inside the 22. Credit, I know you've mentioned him before as we see this replay here. Good interplay between those loose forwards. Not held in the tackle was the 8th man there, Philip Kleinhans. And then ball just short to the flank forward there, De Villiers, and he has a good stretch onto the line there. Credit must be given to Neil Leroux though. He marshalled his players around him. Interplay between backs and forward, and his delivery was absolutely amazing. Let's see if he can add the extra 2 points here.
Ja nee, Lucky definitief voor daai Riversdal uit al vir die afgelope paar jare sou hierdie man dop. Nou op hierdie stadium, vroeg in die wedstryd stel hy definitief nie teleur nie. Wonderlike speler Neil Leroux. En Lucky, dis net so ongelooflik om aan te dink. Die verskil tussen twee skole, maar tog is die rugby so naby aan mekaar. Affies ongeveer 1400 seuns in die skool. Oakdale so 460 seuns op die plaas, maar met 'n volle 20 rugby spanne. As ons weer sien dat Oakdale daardie bal ongelooflik goed bemeester het. En Neil Leroux wat wag en sy voorspelers wat skitterende werk doen. Hierdie Oakdale span het gekom om te speel. En die rolmaal beweging wat reeds so 10-12 meter gevorder het. En dan nou die vaskop sit Dian Jenes wat nog bykom. En nou loop hierdie Affie pak agteruit. Oakdale met skitterende werk in die rolmaalbeweging. Uiteindelik is die bal wat grond gegaan en die skeieregter sê nee meneere, hy was onwettig Affies. En Neil Leroux met die bal in hand, Oakdale aan die brand.
Absolutely superb control there from that rolling maul there. It was structured. It never looked like it was going to disintegrate, and they made a huge amount of meters there. Second time we've seen that. The intent is clear on that maul. It works, and it works really, really nicely.
Ja, die spreekwoordelike kombersie kon jy oor haar pak voorspelers gooi. En dit word ons toch van onder 9 rugby afgeleer. Maar die Oakdale pak wat wonderlik saamwerk. En weer eens Henny Du Plessis wat hierdie lyn staan gaan voer. Hans die bal afgeneem deur Affies, maar het lyk of hy aangeslaan is op die grond. Deur Horn, voordeel nou aan Oakdale. Els met so lang aangee. En dan 'n steekskoppie vorentoe. En ongelukkig net te ver vir Keegan Coricius, die linkervleuel. Maar tog is dit Oakdale wat die druk nou op Affies plaas en boer hier in die halfgebied.
I'm sure I'd like to see that kick just go a little bit deeper there, but the intent was clear. No one at home there tried to pick his spot inside that 22.
Dan is die ingooi wat te ver gaan. Mornay Els, hy doen baie goeie werk. Hy kry die aangee weg en dan nog 'n skitterende aangee in die hande van Jaco Pinaar. Pinaar doen baie goed om die bal terug te plaas, maar voordeel weer aan die kant van Oakdale, aanslaan aan die kant van Affies. Baie goeie lyn gehardloop deur Matthew Golden vir Oakdale. En die Du Plessis, hy probeer hom wegkry daar na Kleinhans, ongelukkig. Kleinhans wat die bal vorentoe verloor, maar skeieregter Gerry de Bruin sê Affies, julle was nie aan kant nie. En 'n verspot maklike 3 punte wat wag vir Oakdale indien hulle dit wil vat.
Excellent pressure here. Good to see Oakdale taking it right to Affies. It would be very easy to be intimidated by the stature that is Affies, but they've really, every time they've gone to the 22, wanted to play, and the 3 points are not on offer as you see them rolling forward.
Leroux, hy kry hom weg aan die hande van Gerard Lamprecht. Groot verdediging aan die kant van Affies. Lamprecht is oor die doellyn, maar hy word opgehou. Gelukkig vir Oakdale is Lamprecht oor die doellyn gewees en daarom sal dit hulle ingooi in 'n vaste skram 5 meter van die Affies doellyn af wees. 'n Lucky Oakdale die speel begeesterde rugby op hierdie oomblik.
Certainly so, and it's great to see this early on. Absolutely fantastic encounter here. What a way to end off day one. We've seen some great rugby throughout the day here, and I'm sure this is going to get even better as the game continues. It'll be interesting to see here what the Neil Leroux opts for here. They've got space if you look at just ahead of us here. Johan onto the far right hand side.
Well, there is some space on the blind side. Neil Leroux, he is a really nippy customer, the number 9 of Oakdale. Let's see what he comes up with. Philip Kleinhans lyk of hy die steelkant gaan wil gebruik, die agste man. En dan sê die skeieregter nee, wag, Harry Skram staan aan beide kante so effens op. En dan sien ons net laat die manne daar vir mekaar net vra hoe dit by die huis gaan. Affies, die was lanklaas op die plaas in Riversdal. Net vra of die koeie nog in die môre gemelk word en of die landerye geplant is. En manne wat so vinnig weer kalmeer. Ja, baie interessant natuurlik. Oakdale 100% operasionele plaas. So 420 jersey koeie wat daagliks gemelk word. Meer as 1300 skaap. Hulle plant op 500 hektar. En dan hierdie skole verdere 600 hektar. As sou sien Philip Kleinhans, hy gebruik die steelkant. En 'n wonderlike aangee oor in die regterkant soek Enrique Arendse. Philip Kleinhans daar was briljant geweest. En Oakdale se tweede 3 van hierdie wedstryd. En Oakdale is besig om op alle silinders te vier.
You'll see just in the replay here what happened in the first scrum, and the reason it was reset there, the hooker just didn't get a good enough hook, so the 8th man had to really dig for it. This scrum here is much better. He gets a bit of a better hook. There it is available for the number 8 Kleinhans. He takes the contact by that second in 2 players there and opens up the winger there. A great 5-pointer from Oakdale once again.
Ja, het was 'n absolute ongelooflike uitgee daar deur Philip Kleinhans geweest. Enrique Arendse oor aan die regterkant se hoek. En jy kan sien wat dit vir die Oakdale span beteken. Soos ons genoem het, een van Oakdale se beste spanne in die afgelope klompie jare. En afrigter Malan Du Plessis sal gelukkig wees met die begin wat sy span beleef. Wonderlike skop ook van die regterkant se kantlyn af. 2 punte wat bygevoeg word. En Oakdale se voorsprong rek na 14 punte teenoor 3. Rian Gerber, hy kry sake weer in die gang vir Affies, lekker diep en ingeneem deur Arendse. En dan in die hande van Morney Els. En baie maklik is dit hy wat die druk verlig, die skop nie uit nie. Kewen Orkee, hy kry so 'n lang aangee weg in die hande van Rian Gerber weer eens. En hy soek die oorkant se kantlyn op, maar nee, pragtig in posisie Matthew Golden. En hy vat ook 'n skoonvang. En Golden gebruik die regtervoet en weer eens 'n lang skop, maar hy gaan nie die kantlyn opspoor nie. Kewen Orkee, hy versprei daar in die hande van sy skramskakel. En nou is dit Oakdale wat veg vir besit op die grond, maar die skeieregter wat sê nee. Daar is hande in die loskram reeds gevorm. En lucky kans vir Affies om so 'n bietjie asem te haal.
Certainly so. They're trying desperately to get inside of the 22 there from Oakdale after the bit of a bright start that they had, Affies. It's all been Oakdale since then, so I'm sure they'll want to take full advantage of some territory, and the set piece here will allow them to attack, hopefully, off the front foot.
Ja, baie goeie verligtingskop deur Rian Gerber en ook Affies se ingooi in die lyn staan natuurlik van 'n strafskop af. So 'n geleentheid hier vir Dian Maree om sy springers te vind en vir Affies om 'n fases te bou. Die bal wat oor die kop van Kyle van die Kerk was, maar baie goed ingeneem. Agter in die lyn staan deur Milan Ferreira. Nou in die hande van Rian Gerber. Hy versprei na Ruwan Look. Look wat baie goed doen. Hy plaas die bal en dan kom hy weer op sy voete. 100% wettig. Look steeds op die voete. En hy so 'n meter of 3 van die doellyn af. Weer eens voordeel wat nou gespeel word aan Affies. En 'n guldige geleentheid vir Affies om terug te slaan in hierdie wedstryd. Leighton Horn, hy wag vir besit. En Affies se voorspelers wat meedoenloos hierdie doellyn aanval. Look, hy help sy voorspelers, hy probeer vorentoe beer. Die verdediging van kaptein De Villiers is seker. Kyle van die Kerk, hy trap vas. En hy word vasgevat deur Jaco Pinaar. Oakdale se verdediging nie hou. Nou in die hande weer van Affies se pak voorspelers. Skeieregter wat sê nee, geen voordeel nie. En het lyk of Horn daar een vinnig wil neem, maar nee, hy dink tog 2 keer. Die verdediger wat nie weggerol het daar nie, hy het nie spasie gelaat nie. En nou wag 'n keuse op Affies.
Good appreciation of the laws there from the number 13, Ruvan Lok. You saw him there carrying that ball there. He was taken to ground, released the ball, picked it up again, and that's what really gave them the momentum to get inside that 5 meter there, courtesy of his support runners there.
Ja, die eerste 15 meter van hierdie wedstryd verby geflits. Oakdale van Riversdal met 'n baie positiewe begin by die stadium voor met 14 punte teenoor 3. En Affies wat kyk of hulle daardie 3 punte kan verdubbel. En die voorsprong laat krimp na 14 punte teenoor 6. Ja, Gerber is seker tussen die pale deur. En die telling skuif aan na 14 punte vir Oakdale, 6 vir Affies. Is die hoofwedstryd van dag 1 van die Noord-Suid toernooi. En hier by Affies se hoofveld in Pretoria. In die skaduwee van Loftus Versveld. En met trots geborg deur Barloworld Toyota Menlyn. Morney Els wat dinge weer aan die gang kry. En baie goed ingeneem van die afskop af. Goeie verdediging ook deur Dian Jenes, vaskop voorryman van Oakdale. Dan sit Leighton Horn met die regtervoet en daardie bal wat so effens van die voet skil. Hy bring tog so 'n bietjie verligting, maar glad nie waar hy daardie een gemik het nie.
Yeah, not quite out of danger as yet here. Oakdale still able to take something out of this here with Henny Du Plessis about to make the throw. So just need their defensive pattern ready. Do Affies.
In die middelveld lyk soos binne senter daar James Jonker wat goeie werk doen vir Oakdale. Leroux in die hande van vaskop voor hy man Dian Jenes. Hy speel 'n bars out tot dusver. Weer is dit Neil Leroux wat wag. En dan sit Affies wat daar deur die middel kom. Skeieregter sê speel aan. Kyle van Niekerk, hy doen 'n reuse goeie werk vir Affies. En ek vermoed die nommer 9 was so effens 'n gespeel daar deur Affies, maar die skeieregter wat gesê het, hy is tevrede daarmee. En nou is dit ook Oakdale wat so ietsie te sê het daaroor en hulle verloor 10 tree. As die bal wat weggeskop word daar deur Oakdale en Gerry de Bruin wat dit nie gaan duld nie, moet sê die pluimpie vir die skeieregters hier op dag 1. Skeieregters was werklik baie goed. En ons moet onthou dat hulle ook amper 2 jaar van rugby gemis het en 'n baie positiewe terugkeer vir baie van hierdie skeieregters.
Certainly so. I echo those sentiments as well, Johan. We've seen some really good officiating here this afternoon. They've really done their bit to let the game play. We haven't seen too many incidents of ill discipline. The games have been full of running. It's been robust, but for the better part of the day, but he well behaved. So yeah, definitely kudos to all those officials involved in this week's festival.
En lucky ons het daar gesien kaptein Paul de Villiers wat met die skeieregter gesels en Paul de Villiers ook die hoofseun by Hoërskool Oakdale. En wonderlik om te sien met hoeveel deernis en hoeveel respek hy die skeieregter ook hanteer. Hy vra en hy praat nie aanvallerig nie en ongelooflik om te sien dat vandag ook by hierdie toernooi al die spanne se maniere onberispelik was.
Certainly we do need to take into consideration it is a schoolboy tournament and to see them play in such a spirit has really been lekker.
Rian Gerber has certainly got the kicking boots on tonight. He's been successful with 3 penalties. So there's your answer to the kicking of the second side fly-off. If he kicks like that, Rian Gerber kicks like this.
And he's done really well to keep them in the game. I mean, those penalties have really kept them in the game here at 14-9.
Morne Els wat ons dinge weer aan die gang kry. Regtervleuel van Affies Adrian Joubert wat weer eens baie goeie werk doen. En die tweede afskop in 'n ry wat Joubert bemeester. Nou sit agterman Dylan Smith. Die stryd tussen hom en Philip Kleinhans gaan een van die hoogtepunte van hierdie wedstryd wees. Leighton Horn, hy gebruik weer die regtervoet. En baie goed in die lug uitgevat. En nou in die hande van die eense Philip Kleinhans. Hy kry weer sy aangee weg na Neil Leroux. Die man is ook oral op die veld, die skramskakel. En Kleinhans, hy dek vir sy skramskakel. En baie goeie werk gedoen daar. Henny du Plessis wat die bal opdra. Leroux. En nou word hy versprei deur Morne Els. Groot verdediging aan die kant van Affies, maar was daar 'n hand by Gino de Wit wat goeie werk doen vir Oakdale, die nommer 4 slot. Leroux, Jenis. Goeie hande, kry het weg na weer eens na die nommer 4 slot. Gino de Wit, of terwyl Erhard Lampert nommer 5, hier's baie spasie. Paul de Villiers, hy kry hom weg na Matthew Golden. En nou in die hande van Philip Kleinhans. Oakdale sprankel rugby wat gespeel word. Johan Dur, die is ook al by, die loskop voor hy man. Hy ondersteun vir Kleinhans. Ons het Leroux. En dan ongelukkig is dit de Villiers is aangee wat verlore gaan. En Affies wat 'n kansie kry om asem te haal, Lucky.
Lovely to see them play in the spirit of the game here, Oakdale. They did have a penalty advantage back into their 22, but they really took advantage of that open play. And now Affies pretty much can get right back to Oakdale, an opportunity for them to attack inside the 22.
Matthew Golden wat daardie bal tot in die 22 meter van Affies gedra het. Affies 'n fatale fout begaan deur nie uit te skop nie. En kaptein de Villiers, die man is ook besig om sy sokkies af te werk. Neil Leroux, nou in die hande van Lamprecht. En 'n goeie verdediging kant van Affies. Lamprecht so effens reg op wat hy in die kontaksituasie ingaan. En wat sê die skeieregter? Hy sê nee, te lank gevat om grond toe te gaan, meneer Lamprecht. En omgekeerde bal besit aan die kant van Affies. En baie goeie verdediging. Soos net hier na die kyk weer kyk. Aangee wat weggekry word na Golden. Dan in die hande van Kleinhans. Hy beer vorentoe tot in die kwartgebied. En dan ook ondersteuning van Johan Dur. Die continuïteit van hierdie Oakdale span, Lucky, is iets om te beleef.
Absolutely amazing. They seem to know where each and everybody is there. The ball presentation also is actually quite superb. They do very well to try get their hands through the tackle before releasing that ball onto a teammate. Lovely stuff to see here.
Lucky, of course, by the time that these guys get into the first side, they have literally spent 5 years of their life together. 462 boys in the school, 443 boys in the hostel. So these 15 players have been living next to each other and in each other's room for 5 years.
Certainly so. So that communication sometimes almost telepathic, you could very well say.
Nieleroe, hy krap weer. En hy gee so 'n passie of twee, maar dan sit 'n ongelooflike duikslag op Nieleroe deur hakker Dian Maree. En Nieleroe het daar die enetjie gevoel. En dan is dit baie goeie werk gedoen deur die agterspelers van Oakdale om die strafskop te kry. En die einste Nieleroe wat daar gaan red het, maar lucky Dian Maree het vir hom raak geloop.
Jeez, that was a big clatter that happened in the middle of the field there. Good to see him back up on his feet though, it must be said, but some really big hits here, and I think just to settle things down here, the option for 3 points just to give Oakdale a bit of a breather. They have been playing more of the rugby in the last couple of minutes or so, so to walk away with 3 points and a bit of a breather, I'm sure will be most welcome.
Ja, Affies natuurlik, huisves die Noord-Suid toernooi, as ons net hier na die kyk weer kyk, Nieleroe so 2, 3, 4 tree, en dan is dit Dian Maree met 'n ongelooflike plettervat. En Nieleroe die het ook 'n baie, soos die Engelsman sal sê, guts gewys om so vinnig op te kom van daai enetjie af.
Just had to pop his shoulder back into place, I'm sure, and now he's good to go again.
He stalks the Gilbert and hits it with the right foot, straight through the middle does the Gilbert go, and 17 points to Oakdale now, 9 to Affies, and what a first half we're seeing here, Lucky Letsabo.
Certainly has been end-to-end stuff here. Really exciting to see. When we speak about a Premier Schoolboy Rugby, this is what we want to see, and I'm sure everybody at home, although unable to join us here in the stadium, are certainly enjoying this from the comfort of their own homes.
Nieleroe kom weer nader gedraf. So vir 'n oomblik gelyk of hy die regter stewel gaan inlê. Maar dan sê die skeieregter, nee, hy roep af iemand nader. Gerry de Bruin nie gelukkig met iets wat by daardie faset gebeur het nie. Hy gesels saam met Stian de Bruin, die vaskop voorryman van Affies. Gelukkig is daar nog nie kaarte wat uitgedeel word nie. Maar 'n groot spil waarom hierdie Oakdale span draai. Paul de Villiers, Philip Kleinhans en Neil de Bruin.
Big players there for them, but you see now the psychological battle start to play effect here very early on in this game. As soon as Affies see themselves on the other side of the half is immediately when they turn back again, either through ill discipline that we've seen here or through some great defensive efforts from Oakdale. I see there's just a change that's been made on behalf of Affies. Jersey number 23, Junior Masilela from earlier on. He's on to the park for the hosts.
Ja, Masilela het 'n baie goeie wedstryd vir Affies in die tweede span wedstryd tussen hierdie twee skole gehad. Affies het die wedstryd natuurlik gemaklik gewen. Hierdie wedstryd lyk na 'n perd van 'n heel ander kleur met ook die hoog aangeskrewe Oakdale span van 2021 op hierdie stadium voor op Affies se hoofveld met 17 punte teenoor 9. Jy kyk hierdie wedstryd regstreeks op SuperSport Schools en jy kan hom ook op die YouTube platform kyk. 'n Groot skram aan die kant van Oakdale. En dan sê die skrimskakel wat sonder die bal gesloop word daar deur Nieleroe. En so 'n bietjie aggressiwiteit tussen hierdie twee spanne. En gereeld wat hulle vir mekaar vra hoe dit gaan en gesels oor die lewe op die plaas en die lewe in die stad. En Rian Gerber wat 'n geleentheid kry om die druk op Affies te verlig.
43 points to 13, as you see a couple of those results at the bottom of your screen. That was the encounter between the second sides of these two teams here. So that was a one-sided affair, but certainly not the case this evening.
Pragtig ingeneem in die middel van die lyn staan deur Kyle van die Kerk vir Affies. Hulle probeer om 'n rolmaalbeweging van stapel te stuur. Oakdale is 'n verdediging wat hou, maar nou is dit tog Affies met dieselfde rolmaalbeweging wat vorentoe beer. Skeieregter sê niks foute met daardie een wat afgegaan het grond en die groot verdediging daar op Pieter Rousseau en 'n baie goeie verdediging aan die kant van Oakdale. Wonderlike werk gedoen en die manne van die plaas is baie tevrede met daardie ene.
Isolated the player there once again, going into that ruck situation by himself. Straight over the ball was Oakdale. And again, we see that the same situation here. Not able to put together a couple of phases where Affies an immediate reprieve for Oakdale and an opportunity for them to see themselves playing on the other side of the half.
Ja, weer eens Neil Leroux wat die oorkant se kantlyn opsoek. En hy jaag Affies dadelik weer terug tot in hulle eie halfgebied. Ja, die voorsprong van Oakdale, die hou op hierdie stadium. Dis 17 punte teenoor 9. Lamprecht weer eens hoog gerank in die middel van die lyn staan. Goeie besit aan die kant van Oakdale. Gaan hulle rol met balbeweging aan die gang kry. Affies wat hard werk om maar deur die middel te probeer bars. En ja, hy skeieregter gesê, daai het te lank geneem. Oakdale, julle het hom ingeneem. Affies, julle kry hom uit.
Better there by Affies. We saw that first maul that happened in a similar position a couple of minutes ago. I mean, that went on for about 12 meters. So good to see that Pack was able to solidify and stop that maul right in its tracks without being on the other hand of a penalty.
Yeah, lucky we've seen quite a lot of argy-bargy in this game so far. And Lamprecht always involved heavily. The number 5 lock from Oakdale. He looks to be a nice and aggressive player. Big scrum and a tight head on the side of Oakdale. Now Leroux, he gets it onto the blind side. Carried out by Johan Durr. Leroux once more. Philip Kleinans in the midfield. He's had a barnstorming game as the 8th man. Leroux now quick ball to the left-hand side. Now in the hands of Jakob Pienaar. He gets it away to Golden. Golden! And he's over. Beautiful work by the fullback Matthew Golden. And it's try time for Oakdale. What a performance and what a first half by the men from Riversdale.
Have a look at Mornay Ulster, the combination between him and Leroux, the change of direction in that fly half position. He was sitting towards the right-hand side. Look at him coming across quickly here. So the change of direction, this is what adds the numbers in favor of Oakdale. And you see there, Golden, you thought he was going to cut back on the outside, but he backed himself, didn't he? He did well to stay on the inside. And unfortunately, Masilela unable to stop him there. 5 points to Oakdale.
Yeah, Masilela, early replacement in the first half. Of course, he had 60 minutes of rugby this afternoon already. And, you know, he just ran out of some puff there and couldn't prevent Golden from going over. But these Oakdale men are playing the game of their lives. And they are a highly, highly rated side. They have been since the under 14 year. I think they've only lost twice as a group in their whole high school careers. And having a chat to their headmaster last night, you know, he mentioned that they are loving it to play against the big boys. As we see Neil Leroux just pulling that one to the left. But they absolutely love the opportunities of playing all the big boys. If lucky, you can just take us through this replay.
There's that one from Mornay else again. Good ball presentation as well. Look at the straight running. So they're able to draw the players there. And then all to do here for Golden. Does so successfully and gets a 5-pointer for Oakdale.
En dadelijk van die afskop is het Philip Kleinans. Hy wat 'n groot bres slaan hier in die verdediging van Affies. Hierdie man speel 'n barshou, die agste man. En nou weer baie vinnige verspreiding in die hande van Dian Enes. Hy speel ook 'n groot wedstryd in die vaskop voor hy man. Neil Leroux dadelik by. Mornay Els. Paul de Villiers, die kaptein, hy sak sy kop en hy ken net een pad en dit is vorentoe. Leroux. Els. Hy gebruik die regtervoet met 'n so steekskoppie en hy vind baie spasie en 'n Mornay Els wat die bal beheer soos die Engelsman sal sê, soos 'n puppet master en uit aan die oorkant van die veld. Mornay Els plaas Affies weer eens onder baie druk.
Have a look at this here. What I like about this here, we've seen from Mornay, from running to kicking. Look how he just controlled the situation then, totally slowed the game down to his liking.
Affies wat die bal dra binne hulle kwartgebied. En dadelik Oakdale wat weer daardie bal stadig maak. Paul de Villiers, hy speel 'n groot rol op die grond vir Oakdale. Leighton Horn, hy gebruik die regtervoet in die middel van die veld. Baie goed gevat deur 'n regtervleuel Enrique Arendse. En Arendse slaan 'n bres in die verdediging. Maar 'n groot duikslag uitgevoer deur Dylan Smit. Nou Neil Leroux. En hy sien baie spasie. Mornay Els en Neil Leroux is besig om hierdie wedstryd uit die palm van hulle hand te speel en te beheer. En Affies het probleme op hulle eie hoofveld.
Absolutely fantastic. Taking it upon himself was Neil Leroux to pop that ball there, and Morne Elsa to chase. I thought it was tickets almost for them when the fullback got tackled on that cricket pitch. No one wants to get tackled this late at night. But look at this. Nobody home there. I don't know who was meant to be playing in that sweeper role. And just the concentration, eyes on the ball, and just the intensity to go over for the whitewash.
Ongelooflike vaart ook gewys daar deur Morne Elsa, die loskakel van Oakdale. Maar die verstandhouding tussen hom en Neil Leroux is iets spesiaal. Ek is seker daai manne is kamermaats. Ek is seker hulle melk saam koeie en ek is seker hulle plant saam daar op die plaas, want die telepatie tussen daardie twee spelers iets ongelooflik.
Absolutely amazing. You can't coach things like that. The interplay between the two and how they're able to interchange as well when it comes to positional play has been really something special.
Vroeger ook die skoolhoof van Oakdale genoem, meneer Andrei Latsky, reeds 25 jaar skoolhoof daar op die plaas. Neil Leroux, 'n skitterende vervyfskop vanaf die regterkant se kantlyn. En ek is ook seker meneer Andrei Latsky op hierdie stadion baie gelukkig. Sy skool voor met 29 punte teenoor 9 teen Affies.
Look at this here. He was stuck on the wrong side, was Masilela. He was the sweeper there, but he was stuck on the other side of the field. And by the time he had made it there, Els had really dotted the ball down for 5 points.
Ingeneem deur Philip Kleinhans. Hy versprei aan die hande van Neil Leroux. Leroux sê veiligheid eerste en hy soek die regterkant se kantlyn op. En Oakdale die speel 'n ongelooflike beheerste wedstryd op hierdie stadium. Hulle gebruik baie geduld en voor met 20 punte op Afrikaans Hoërseerskool se hoofveld. Die hoofwedstryd van Noord-Suid dag 1.
They won't want to concede. About 2 minutes left in this half. Will Oakdale, they want to keep a good defensive record to see them into halftime.
Goed ingeneem agter in die lyn staan deur Lawrence de Lange. En dan hierdie rolmaalbeweging skitterend aan die gang. Oakdale kan hom nie nou laat val nie. En 'n skeieregter dadelik wat voordeel speel aan Affies. Groot werk gedoen deur die pak voorspelers van Affies. En dan is dit steeds die manne wat vorentoe beheer op die grond. En wat sê die skeieregter? Ja, weer eens voordeel wat hy speel aan die kant van Affies. Luitenant Rian Gerber en aangee na Look. Hy het 'n goeie wedstryd tot dusver vanmiddag. Hy hou baie Oakdale verdedigers besig. En vaskop voor hy man Stian de Bruin. Nou is dit die loskop voor hy Milan Ferreira. Goeie verdediging aan die kant van Oakdale. Weer eens hy kyk, gaan hy met die regtervoet skop. Hy kom al verby Leroux. En baie goeie werk gedoen deur 'n Luitenant. En skeieregter wat hulle terugbring. Hy sê geen voordeel nie. Strafskop aan Affies.
Hopefully they will look to defend this one, Will Oakdale. They've done so much today, but psychologically it'll mean so much to Affies if they're able to go into the shed with something onto the scoreboard here, and with that they're going to go for the line. We've seen in similar positions them going for a post all the time here, but I guess 7 points in this situation would greatly be appreciated by the hosts.
Lucky you get moments and then you get moments in matches, and this is a moment. Halftime after this, 20-point deficit to Affies. They need to score. They go to the back of the line now. Surely they're going to look to maul this. Trying to set their driving maul. The defense of Oakdale really pushing them back at this stage. What does the referee say? Is he saying use it once? Leighton Horn, he distributes and then loft forward. And here's an opportunity for Oakdale on the counter-attack. Morne Els, hy skop die bal veld af. En hier kom spoed, kyk net vir Ferocious. Hy en Masilela agter die bal aan. Baie goeie werk gedoen deur Masilela. Maar Keegan Ferocious, hy was baie vinnig by en nou moet Affies wal gooi vir al wat hulle werd is. En hulle sê nee, kom ons gaan eet lemoene. Dis halftyd en Affies onder geweldige druk in haar eerste helfte, Lucky.
That was almost some tongues wagging there as we saw that counter-attack happening there by Keegan. Good presence of mind for Morne, understanding there was no one at home there, but jeez, it's been end-to-end stuff here. It is blue at the moment here in Pretoria, and I'm not talking about the Blue Bulls. It is Oakdale fairly in charge here. Let's see what the halftime brings.
Ons is nou saam met julle terug vir die tweede helfte.
Sometimes when I come home, I wonder what I would say to my younger self. Maybe I would say, ungenayonga yona kid inhle okanye ibhadlileyo. Ndakubona intwana ezimiseleyo. Kodwa qina, qhubeka ufunda, qhubeka udlala, qhubeka ukholelwa. Ngenye imini ukukhanya kuzokufumana.
Barloworld Toyota Menlyn nou groter en beter. Ons het geskuif, nou oorkant Menlyn Main Pretoria. Jou nommer 1 handelaar vir nuwe en gebruikte motors, dienste en parte. Skakel ons gerus by 012 995 1700.
Second half here, it's the last game of the Barloworld Toyota North-South Rugby Festival. Has been end-to-end stuff here so far. 29 points, Oakdale in the lead versus the 9 of the hosts. Affies, plenty of work for them to do in the second half here as we have a look at a couple of replays.
Yeah, that's Philip Kleinans, the man mountain of 8th man of Oakdale, just getting over the advantage line at ease. And then Neil Leroux spreading it to Captain Fantastic Paul de Villiers, head boy of Oakdale. And he goes over for their first try. Neil Leroux so influential in so much that they do, as is Philip Kleinans. Just look at this little chicken wing offload from the ground. Philip Kleinans, pure class.
He really has had a massive impact on the game. There has lots of darting runs, always looks to offload the ball, always looks to support fellow runners that are in here, which has really been good to see. Here we see Golden with that try again. We thought he was going to cut back onto the inside, but he backs himself against Masilela, and another 5-pointer in favor of Oakdale.
I think what's been so impressive from Oakdale is the systematic dismantling of the Affies defense, and then just once again Neil Leroux just spotting that space, and more than else really showing a clean pair of heels and getting there and going over for their 4th try. So they lead Affies by 4 tries to 0 after a first half, and you can't get much more comprehensive than that, Lucky Letsabo.
Certainly so. Let's hope more of the same in the second half. Obviously Affies will want to respond here. They will want to play some positive rugby. There's still plenty of time. I mean, if we saw that action in the first half, certainly we'll see some of it in the second half here. For Oakdale, it'll be more of the same, I'm sure. Coach would have said to him, and if we can, even more. But from an Affies point of view, it'll be, men, let's strap up here and get going.
You know, it's lucky. It's so interesting watching Milan du Plessis, the head coach of Oakdale. You know, these guys from Riversdale just do it a little bit different. He's dressed in his full blazer with his tie for the match, and we haven't seen many of the other coaches looking the part as he is, and it's just a part of that passion and tradition that they have in Riversdale. Rian Gerber wat dinge weer in die gang gekry het. Dit lyk soos Hakkerennie du Plessis wat vasmaak al vir Oakdale. Dadelik Neil Leroux wat weer die bevele uitdeel. Hy is 'n groot spul waarom die span van Oakdale draai. En dan Leroux op die linkervoet. Die eerste keer wat ons hom vandag sien uit die linkervoet gebruik. Goed ingeneem deur Dylan Smit, agste man van Affies. Hy en Lawrence de Lange, die was ook prominent in die eerste helfte. Leighton Horn, hy versprei na Damian Oosthuizen. Hy klop so byna die verdedigers van Oakdale. Weer 'n stadige bal. Die Oakdale verdediging kry reg wat hulle wil. Gerber, hy versprei wyd en dan was dit Pieter Rousseau met nog so 'n wye aangee. Masilela uit 'n goeie wedstryd vir Affies se tweede span ook gespeel vanmiddag. En nommer 4 slot Erik Jooste wat die bal opneem na vir Affies. Gerber en dan die bal wat agter toe spat, Damian Oosthuizen wat probeer regmaak, maar dan word hy teruggedra en nou sit Affies iets wat onder druk van Oakdale. Philip Kleinhans wat weer eens sy bene dra om uit te kom op verdediging vir Oakdale. En weer eens die bal wat los spat. Kyle van die Kerk wat regmaak vir Affies. Maar dan Oakdale wat in is op die bal. En Affies is effens 'n mistasting na die bal op 2 okasies daar wat hulle kos.
That pressure there, they're just looking up there. That line from Oakdale is coming up really fast. So as soon as you receive that ball, they're in your face, which is putting them under pressure there. We saw a couple of fumbles from the Affies team and a wonderful steal there by Paul de Villiers.
Neil Roux wat die bal uitjaag hier aan die diskantse kantlyn. En Henny du Plessis wat weer eens 'n lynstaan kan voer. Aanvallende lynstaan van Oakdale. Hulle het reeds 'n 4-3 in hierdie wedstryd gedruk teen Affies op Affies se hoofveld. En 'n vinnige 2 bal ingeneem deur Lamprecht. En dan 'n dryfbalbeweging wat aan die gang gesit word. Ongelooflike innoverende spel aan die kant van Oakdale. En dadelik voordeel as daar 'n malbeweging plat getrek word. En hier so 'n spasie aan die linkerkant. Keegan Carishes. Ongelukkig is die kantlyn wat wen. Matthew Golden die het hom weggestuur. Maar die skeieregter sê nee, as hy genoegsame voordeel nie. Hy kom terug vir die strafskop. Affies se rolmalbeweging die is grond toe gebring. Ons is net hier op die kyk weer sien hoe Matthew Golden na vir Carishes probeer wegstuur. Maar goeie verdediging aan die kant van Adrian Joubert vir Affies.
Better this time here, that sweeping roll. They're able to read that move and come across to make that tackle there. Well done by Affies for that one there. Be interesting to see the decision here by Oakdale if they're just going to chip away here at their lead.
Yeah, it looks like it, and I think I do agree with it, and it's such a favourable position. They just want to keep the scoreboard ticking and keep the scoreboard pressure on the hosts. And if you asked Affies before the game, I do not think they would have seen themselves sitting in this situation currently. Neil Leroux stalking the Gilbert, hitting it with the right boot. Yeah, it's there. A great kicking by the scrum-off. He's having a whale of a game, and as is the rest of his side, and they lead Affies at Affies. Yes, you're hearing right, by 32 points to 9.
Lots of work here to do for Affies still. They need to start off by putting a couple of phases together, getting deep inside that 22, and hopefully staying there for a while.
Baie goed ingeneem deur kaptein Paul de Villiers. Hy speel ook 'n reuse wedstryd vanmiddag, die hoofseun van Oakdale en Riversdal. Neil Leroux het gesien hoe gebruik hy die linkervoet van die vorige halfskop af. Maar eers is dit 'n pak voorspelers wat so 'n bietjie wil domineer. Gaan hy weer die linkervoet gebruik? Nee, ek dink nie so nie. Ek dink hy gaan dalk net die regtervoet gebruik. Leroux wat baie goed doen om Mario al uit te kry aan die kant van Oakdale. Maar dan is dit tog omgekeerde besit, Horn. En dan van die linkervoet is dit 'n Pierre Rousseau. Terwyl Pieter Rousseau. Die kyk rond. Wat is die opsies? Hy kry hom weg na Erik Jooste. Groot duikslag en Philip Kleinhans het hande op die bal. Ja, Philip Kleinhans het hande op die bal. En daar is bitter min wat hierdie agste man nie kan doen nie. Een van die beste spelers en uitstaande spelers hier op dag 1 van die Noordsuid toernooi.
Absolutely fantastic body position over the ball. Wasn't part of the tackle, so as soon as he went down to ground, had all the rights to that ball. And again, just confusion between the runners there of Affies. Not taking responsibility of carrying that ball forward. And very quickly we see Oakdale back into this position here. There he is. He's not part of the tackle. He's supporting his body weight straight over the ball there. and easy decision there. One of the easier ones that Mr. De Bruin has had to make this evening.
Another ball taken in at 2 by Lamprecht. And now this time they set the rolling ball from the number 2 ball. And now distributed into the midfield. Els with a long ball. And Matthew Golden hitting the line at pace. Beautiful interjection by the fullback. Exciting to see the way these Oakdale boys handle the ball. But unfortunately, just a mistake made at a ruck time. And penalty goes the way of Affies.
You can see Oakdale trying a couple of things now. You can see Mornay Els wrapping around there. There was a wonderful move to open up the back lines of Pienaar there together with Enrique Arends. So the intention is quite clear from Oakdale. They're full of running, good confidence. Goldman, what pace did he hit that ball with there? Lovely to see from him.
Yeah, Affies might be in a little bit of the spot of bother here on their main field as Dion Marais prepares to feed the line out. Kyle van Niekerk, the target once again, well taken by van Niekerk. And Rian Gerber, he distributes. Great running by Dylan Smith in the midfield. But then, unfortunately, he just chucks that pull away. But the Oakdale boys and the offside line, not friends there. And once again, just a little bit of ill discipline creeping in. And 10 yards closer it is.
You'd hate for all their efforts as far as Oakdale is concerned to be taken away because of silly things like ill discipline. So hopefully when there's a bit of a stoppage here in the game, the captain just reminding them about what the main goal is here for the visitors.
Oakdale wat het reg kry om Affies uit hulle gemaksone uit te haal. Die Affies wat ons ken sou daar vir die paal wou skop en die met Gerber se voet wil dikteer, maar hulle is gedwing om nou in die hoek uit te skop en punte te probeer aanteken. Die voorsprong vir Oakdale 23 punte. En dan 'n ongedwonge fout aan die kant van Affies. Mornay Els, iemand speel ook 'n reuse wedstryd vanmiddag. Hy het al vele kere skoon gemaak vir Oakdale. Nieleroe met die regtervoet. Hy weet dat Els nie terug in die sakkie is nie. Hy neem die verantwoordelikheid op homself. En Lucky Nieleroe is die spreekwoordelike man wat met 'n rugbybal in die hand gebore is. Jy kan dit net sien. He just takes the right options. He just knows what to do. He's cool, he's calm. He's not a big boy at all, but just plays a wonderful game.
Unable to hold on to that ball there were Affies. Oakdale back onto the attack immediately again there. And it's that man Nieleroe who's going to take responsibility for that hoist.
Enrique Arends was chasing up, but beautiful work done here by the Affies backs. And now it's in the hands of Keanu Peters. Leighton Horn once again digging for the ball. He gets it to Rian Gerber. He uses that big right boot of ease. But beautiful work by Matthew Golden. And he takes the safety first approach. And a beautiful timing on his kick. Didn't look like he kicked that at all there. And he gets it out on the halfway line or very near to it.
The fullback from Oakdale was perfectly positioned to receive that ball and kick it again. There were numbers on the outside here for Affies. I would have liked to see them hang on to that ball and run to a little bit more. I thought they gave that ball away a little bit too cheaply there. And now they have to restart again from halfway. Let's see what they can muster up here as we see another darting run from that 8th man.
Ja, Dylan Smith vir die bal weer opdra in die middelveld. Hy is definitief Affies se suksesvolste baldraer vanmiddag. En nou aan die hande van 'n vaskop voor hy man Stian De Bruin. Weer eens Philip Kleinhans wat kyk op en weer eens Philip Kleinhans omgekeerde besit. Die man Ala Dwayne Vermeulen speel 'n fantastiese wedstryd hier vanaand. 'n Lambrecht, die bal word by hom afgeneem deur Leighton Horn. En dan sit ook 'n senterloop. Hy besluit hy gaan sy voorspelers help. Hulle sukkel hier vanaand. Weer eens Leighton Horn. Rian Gerber en dan lang aangee wat so byna onderskep is deur James Jonker. Nou Keanu Peters kans op die teenaanval vir Affies. Wat sê die skeieregter? Nee, strafskop die gaan aan Affies. And just a couple of minutes of some very unorganized play there, Lucky.
Yeah, I don't know, you saw the referee was a part of that play there. He took a tumble twice during that point, so I'm sure he'll be happy about taking a bit of a breather as well there. But yeah, a little bit disorganized with a ball rip from one side, ball rip from the other side. We just need somebody to straighten, take that ball up and reset the phases again there.
you just sort of feel that Affies is out of plans here at this stage. You know, they've tried the kicking game, they've tried the running game, they've tried the mauling game. Oakdale has repelled every single aspect that Affies has thrown at them.
Credit to Oakdale. That said, how effective have their mauls been? They've had a maul in open play. They've had maul at set line-out time, and it's really been effective and gotten them across the gain line there. So whatever they're doing, it's working, and they must keep going.
Rian Gerber wat die kantlyn opspoor hier aan die diskant se kantlyn. Affies nou weer in die 22 meter area van Oakdale. Hulle was nog baie min in die kwartgebied in hierdie wedstryd. Wian Maree met die ingooi in die middel van die lyn staan, baie goed ingeneem deur Kyle van die Kerk. Dadelik Oakdale wat druk op die Affies pak sit. Nou die bal wat afgang grond, die skeieregter sê heeltemal wettiglik so. Gerber trap van die regtervoet. Kleinans dadelik weer by. Ongelukkig gaan hy verby die bal hierdie keer. En die Duplessis, goeie verdediging aan die kant van Oakdale. En die skeieregter wat sake fyn dophou, Leighton Horn. Hy krap haar rond, gaan hy die gaping sien. Maar Nieleroe die met groot verdediging op sy direkte opponent. En nou is die Affies pak voorspelers. Hulle wil hom nou naby aan die loskram hou. So ek sê, ek dink die idees op hierdie stadium en die Affies agterhoede is effe min. Leighton Horn agter die rug van sy twee slotte. Rian Gerber en dan groot verdediging weer. En Affies wat effens planloos voorkom, maar ook Oakdale se verdediging wat ook die planne uit hulle uitduik. Weer eens vaskop voor hy man Dian Jenis, reuse verdediging aan die kant van Oakdale. Horn, Gerber en nou een van die plaasvervangers Kobus of oftewel Stian Heymans ook op die veld. Man wat die loskakel try gedra het in die tweede spanwedstryd. De Bruin. Hy het ook al 'n redelik baie bal gedra vanmiddag. Leighton Horn, hy krap weer vir die bal. Affies is steeds buite die kwartgebied van Oakdale. Oakdale se verdediging wat hou. Leighton Horn nou na die steelkant en dan trap van die linkervoet aan Montjubert. Dylan Smith, die man speel 'n reuse wedstryd vanmiddag. En daar trek Smith, die jagste man van Affies. Hy kan sy kop omhoog hou, hy speel 'n reuse wedstryd. En dan 'n flank Damian Oosthuizen wat die bal dra so 3 meter van die doellyn van Oakdale. Nou sal Oakdale hulle keer moet ken van amper die eerste keer in hierdie wedstryd. Stian de Bruin in die hande van Look. Hy word goed dopgehou en vasgevat deur Jaco Pinaar. Nou weer aan die steelkant is dit Dylan Oosthuizen. Maar Jaco Pinaar die sorg ook vir die verdediging op hom. Look, hy gaan aan die steelkant en die Duplessis vat vir hom vas. Hy folder tog steeds so 'n meter of 2 en dan 'n Nieleroe wat daar krap vir daardie bal. En 'n groot verdediging op De Bruin, 'n meter kort van die doellyn. Is hierdie 'n kans vir Affies om terug in die wedstryd te kom. En nou wat sê die skeieregter, is hy oor daar sentimeters kort van die doellyn is Affies. Leighton Horn in die hande van Damian Oosthuizen. Weer 'n skitterverdediging aan die kant van Oakdale. Affies moet eenvoudig hier punte aanteken om in hierdie wedstryd te bly. En dan is dit Affies wat die bal wild weggooi. En Masilela wat skitterend doen om op daardie bal te val vir Affies. Die skeieregter wat sê 'n hoë duikslag en lucky Oakdale se verdediging absoluut fantasties.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant here. We saw the darting run from the 8th man, Gerber. He's been phenomenal for Affies today on a solo mission, I think it's fair to say there. But you look at this defense here, they hit backwards, they hit sharp, they hit hard, and you just see them peeling over. That ball very slow coming out there for Horn. So that gave Oakdale a chance to keep coming around there. Absolutely fantastic defense.
Ja, Oakdale wat daar die doellyn beskerm, soos wat hulle die skape op die plaas beskerm. En baie goed ingeneem deur Kyle van die Kerk in die middel van die lyn staan. Weer eens baie gebruik vanmiddag Kyle vanmiddag en weer is dit Dylan Smith. Hierdie man speel 'n barshou en omtrent nog nie een keer vandag met die eerste duikslag grond te gebring nie. Weer voordeel aan die kant van Affies. Milan Ferreira, hy folder tot so 'n meter of 2 voor die doellyn van Oakdale. Horn, aan die hande van Gerber, agter die rug verby na Rousseau en 'n Masilela wat hom laat verbygaan. Dit lyk so Stian Heymans. Heymans is 'n meter kort weer eens. Verdediging van Oakdale wat hou. Pieter Rousseau wat probeer oorbars. En nou weer eens Oakdale wat moet keer vir al wat hulle werd is. Look wat weer gaan help op die skrimskakelposisie, dan sê nee, ek gaan op myself vat hier, so Damian Oosthuizen kry die aangeef weg, maar het daar die bal vorentoe verloor deur die jakker Dian Marie. Skeieregter sê nee, speel aan. En nog een van die plaasvervangers, dit is Sandrey Smith op die veld vir Affies. Varsbene op die veld vir Affies. Look, hy gebruik weer die steelkant. Die man het vanmiddag al menigte male sy voorspelers kom help. En dan weer eens aan die steelkant omgebars. Morney Els die loskakel met goeie verdediging die keer. En Oakdale die keer vir al wat hulle werd is. Affies boer hier op die doellyn van die manne van Riversdal. Stian de Bruin en is hy wat die bal vorentoe aanslaan. En Oakdale wat nog 'n aanslag afweer. En Neil Leroux na sy kaptein Paul de Villiers. En Neil Leroux probeer 'n spasie bewerkstellig sodat hulle die bal uit hulle eie gebied uit kan skop. Leroux weer eens cool en kalm onder druk. Maak al die regte keuses even when he's on his own try line, Lucky.
Jeez. How was that brick wall of a line there? Nowhere to go for the men in white. The defensive line just holding firm. Their discipline on the ball as well there. A couple of fumbles on the ball there. But I just want to go back a couple of phases here, Johan. It's always amazing to see players that are able to do something right, but also defend against it. We've seen how good their maul is, Oakdale, but twice now the attempt from Affies has been to maul them, but have gone nowhere slowly. There's a bit of a stoppage in play now. We've had a couple of phases on, so it'll be interesting to see what the assistant is to say to the referee.
I think what is amazing from this Oakdale side is the absolute trust they have in each other. There was no double hitting there. They fanned out, and that's why they're able to fold so quickly, because there's trust and there's discipline on defense. And I am trusting you to make your hit, Lucky, as you are trusting me. We don't have to help each other. We'll sort it out in our channel.
I'll stay here and comment. You're not trusting me to do any hits, huh? I'm a good, thanks, sir.
I must admit, the way these Oakdale and Affies boys are running, I also feel rather safe here, as eventually we get a penalty for a tip tackle. And Affies staying on the attack, but valuable time passing here. We've got about 20 minutes to go in this fixture, and Affies desperately needs to be the side to score first.
Take it, they won't be competing here, Oakdale. They'll be ready for that maul.
Weer eens Karl van die Kerk, Maree wat omvind, soos hy soveelste keer vanmiddag. Die keer lyk dit of hy maalbeweging so effens momentum wil begin kry. En dan tog nie. Oakdale is 'n verdediging weer eens 100% rotsvas. Horn, hy word plat gedruk deur sy direkte opponent Neil Leroux. En dadelik weer 'n Lamprecht wat inbeweeg het op haar bal. Damian Oosthuizen, hy probeer vorentoe beer. En hoor die Oakdale manne vra vir obstruksie daar. Sien Lamprecht, Paul de Villiers almal hier aan die steelkant. Hulle is paraat op verdediging. En dan onkant spel aan die kant van die vaskopste Dian Jenes. En Leighton wat oorbars. Vinnige strafskop geneem deur die Affies skrimskakel. En dit was baie belangrik dat Affies hier punte aanteken, Lucky.
Certainly so. Wonderful stuff. Yeah, I feel sorry for Dian Jenes though. I thought it wasn't a tackle, he was just falling over there, but we'll let that one slide. However, fully taken advantage was Leighton Horn there, realizing that the player's on 10 meters back. There he goes, he taps the ball, and easy as you like, getting the 5-point in there. Much needed for Affies, and hopefully they can build here. Still a little bit of time. Will they get to 32 points? Well, we've seen worse things happen in the previous games. So certainly not over, but an uphill battle for Affies.
Look, Affies on their main field will never be done. They'll throw everything but the kitchen sink into this game, as the extra 2 is added by Rian Gerber. Just get the feeling though that the composure and the calmness of guys like Neil Leroux and Paul de Villiers and Philip Kleinans might carry Oakdale through this one. But we've been wrong before today, Lucky, so let's see how it pans out. There's about 18 or 20 minutes to go in this fixture, and Oakdale will look to set up camp now in the Affies 22 again. Mooi hangskop en bitter goed ingeneem deur Paul de Villiers, kaptein en 'n hoofseun van Oakdale. Leroux wat bykom. Nou in die hande van Johan Deur. Hy dra die bal sterk vorentoe. Hy het ook sy kant gebring vanmiddag. En nou Dian Enes. Hy pomp haar die bene en hy maak so 4-5 meter. Leroux het hierdie Oakdale span nou weer wakker geskrik. Hier's baie spasie aan die linkerkant, Kleinhans. Curitius! En hy is oor die linkerkant toe. Keegan Curitius. En weer eens die laaste aangee gemaak deur haar man Philip Kleinhans. Hierdie Oakdale span het hoope karakter en hoope klas.
That is absolutely brilliant. I'm sure no coach will complain about that. For you to concede and go back with points and then immediately go back into the ascendancy here. We see that ball coming across here, lovely passing and interplay between the players here. And Keegan, a little bit of work to do here, backed himself, did well to come back on the inside here and dot the ball over for another 5-pointer in terms of Oakdale. Excellent response, must be said, from Oakdale. Never once did they panic, even though the try was scored not too long ago here by Affies. Right back onto the ascendancy, and credit must be given to the captain there, Paul de Villiers. How well he rose in the air to retrieve that ball and set up what was to be the try a couple of phases later was absolutely extraordinary. He's been an absolute mountain and mammoth in this encounter so far.
Yeah, it was so interesting, you know, to have a chat with the headmaster last night, Mr. Andre Lutsky. He just had the highest praise for Paul de Villiers as a human being and as a captain. And, you know, you can see that on the field. His players respect him and they really look up to him. And he has skippered his side into a commanding lead with about 16 minutes to go in this fixture. As once again, that very man that we're talking about, Paul de Villiers, he ranks high and he grabs the ball out of the sky. Leroux wat die manskappe nader roep daar agter die oond. Leroux gebruik die regtervoet, skop hom hoog veld af. En ingeneem deur daai man, Dylan Smith. Baie goeie verdediging die keer deur die nommer 4 slot van Oakdale. Armand Joubert met so 'n skoppie vorentoe in die hande van wie anders as Leroux. En daai man het die voorgevoel en die kalmte om enige situasie vanaand op hierdie veld te hanteer.
Speak about presence on the field. He certainly has had a presence this evening. Commanded the game really well together with his fellow players there, and has really done well to put his side into this lead here.
Oakdale obviously, you know, totally in command of this game at this stage, lucky. But interesting fact as well, you know, like I mentioned earlier, they're just more than 400 boys, but they do have 20 rugby sides at school, and everybody's staying on the hostel, and that system works for them. You know, they have produced Springboks, guys like Pierre Vandenberg, Johan Miller, and then obviously the Irishman, CJ Stander, being an ex-boy, old boy of Oakdale College. And I remember back, I think the year was 2008 when CJ Stander was captain of SWD at Craven Week, and that was also a massive Oakdale side that year. As Oakdale gets possession, Leroux and Morna Else to captain, fantastic in the midfield. Paul de Villiers, he's getting more and more involved in this match. Leroux once again, Else, and a little kick through by Jonker. He's also had a very good afternoon, has James Jonker, but the ball just goes over the try line, and Affies will have a 22.
Yeah, you saw that dink over the top there. Nice option there. They just ran out of space onto that far left-hand side there, deciding just to dip it over to see if players were able to retrieve it.
Paul de Villiers, hy kry sy aangie weg na Henrik Arendse. En Gino de Wit en Jon Vierslot wat ook hand by sit daar. En agter die reg verby is Morney Els. En dan man, Philip Kleinhans weer met bal in hand. Hy is 'n absolute ster in hierdie span. Maar ongelukkig die keer is dit 'n strafskop wat weer vinnig neem vir Affies. Hy sit selfs sy skop agterna, die bal wat so effe verkeerd spring vir Matthew Golden. Leighton Horn wat baie hard probeer hier vir Affies. Die skrimskakel, gaan hy omgekeerde besit bewerkstellig. Het lyk so wonderlike spel deur Leighton Horn. En Affies, die is nog nie klaar nie. Oakdale gaan nou weer wal gooi. En baie naby in die losklap is die Affies voorspelers wat probeer oorbeer. Dan lyk dit soos Damian Oosthuizen en nou aangeslaan. Ongelukkig vir Affies. Bitter naby aan terug in hierdie wedstryd te kom. Maar Damian Oosthuizen wat ongelukkig haar die bal aanslaan terwyl hy amper oor die doellyn was.
Yeah, you see that replay again. They're just trying to reach over. Credit to the center there. Had just got the inside of his arm, and as he tried to place it to the Affies player, they're having to knock it on. Great defensive efforts. Good to see them so late in the game, still affording their team 100% efforts on their try line.
Ja, vader tyd wat teen Affies gaan begin werk. Maar Nieleroe wat die vaste skram kan voer, so 5 tree vanaf Oakdale Landbouskool is sy doellyn. En die Oakdale bulle wat vanaand speel teen Affies op die hoofveld van Affies. Die hoofwedstryd van die eerste dag van die Noord-Suid toernooi. En ook ondersteun deur Barloworld Toyota Menlyn. Natuurlik die breinkind kan 'n mens sê van Pieter Rousseau, afrigter van Parel Gymnasium en voormalige Springbok-legende. En die suide vandag meer aan die wenkant as die noorde. En Oakdale wat kyk of hulle daardie tradisie van die dag kan voortsit.
Lots of tight bodies, I'm sure, as we see that scrum reset once again. It really has been end-to-end. A bruising encounter has been this game. A couple more minutes to go, just over 5 minutes to go here in this game, give or take. Let's see what the players will have in store.
Penalty Affies, and it's a big moment in the match as Oakdale conceded. That's the first penalty, I believe, that they've conceded at scrum time tonight, and maybe a little bit of a character building the last 10 minutes waiting here on Oakdale.
Pressure throw, first throw here by the reserve hooker there, Francois Roots.
Carl van Niekerk, he's taken in so much position tonight out of the line out. Ball in possession now of Roots. Can they maul this one over? They are swinging it to the right, and Roots looking to barge his way over. Oakdale, once again, their defense folding so quickly on the blind side. Big carry, looked like Carl van Niekerk with a carry for Affies. Leighton Horn digging for this one. Andre Smith receiving that one. Big carry up by the replacement, loose forward. Leighton Horn once again going back to the blind side. Leighton Horn going himself, and he's been a real inspiration in the last few minutes. Masilela just not getting over the line. Nieleroe doing yeoman work on defense. And what does the referee say? He says, no, that's a double movement on the side of Affies. Die verdediging van Oakdale Landbouskool van Riversdal vanaand is iets om te aanskou, Lucky Letabel.
Jeez, I really hope that these players go back and have a look at this game again. Absolutely wonderful defensive efforts they've had, both on attack, bodies on the line here. But the key thing here, Johan, is discipline as well.
Armand Joubert, he's looking to counter-attack. Long ball in the hands of Luke. He's been an exciting runner on the side of Affies tonight. And was Jakubino with hands on the ball there for Oakdale, trying to make the turnover. Rian Gerber, hy versprei in die hande van Wyk Groothuis. Ook 'n reuse wedstryd gespeel vir Affies se tweede man span vanmiddag, Groothuis. Leighton Horn, Rian Gerber met so 'n steekskopie vorentoe. Hy draai vir Coricius om. Hierdie man het verskriklik baie vaart en verspot maklik ontduik hy die Affies verdedigers en hy gebruik sy regtervoet. Nou in die hande van Stian Heymans. Hy kry hom weg in 'n groot verdediging. En dit is die nommer 7 Johan Balk wat 'n groot verdediging daar uitvoer. En Oakdale die maak nie foute vanmiddag nie.
That was a big hit. We heard that from the commentary box here.
Yeah, I was just about to say he might have been the quietest of the three Lucy's, and then bang, Johan Bolt answers my question.
Speaks of the quality of that man-on-man defense that you're alluding to a little bit earlier, about how they commit and make the hit actually.
Paul de Villiers, hy versprei na die einste bal en dan die bal wat aangeslaan word, maar die skeieregter sê nee Affies. Julle was bietjie gretig gaan met die duikslag en lyk of daar so 'n bietjie van kop eerste boorvat was, maar skeieregter sê nie nodig vir kaarte hier nie. En dit is net 'n strafskop en 'n kans vir Oakdale om nou te gaan kamp opslaan in die helfte van Affies. En mense begin die idee kry dat dit neusie verby raak vir Affies hier op sy hoofveld. En alhoewel baie mense sal dink dit is 'n opskudding wat Oakdale veroorsaak, is dit 'n baie gedigte Oakdale span. En moet sê dit was op die kaarte, Lucky Letsabo.
Certainly so, no, take nothing away from Dale. They were definitely not the underdogs here. We've spoken about the prowess of both these teams, the rich history, rugby history from both sides. It was always going to be an encounter to look forward to and an epic battle from both teams.
Mornay Elsa in die middelveld, hy steek vas, 'n baie vaart hierdie loskakel, dit het hy reeds 2 of 3 keer in hierdie wedstryd gewys. Neil Leroux, en nou in die hande van kaptein Paul de Villiers, en plaasvervanger op die veld is Aye van Vuren, 8ste man van die tweede span, en Neil Leroux, met so 'n fop aangee, Johan Bolt, is hy oor, ja, Johan Bolt, en dit is neusie verby, offisieel vir Affies, Oakdale Landbouskool van die Riversdal, die hoofwedstryd van die eerste dag, hulle gaan C4 oor Affies, dit is nou net 'n kwessie van hoe ver.
Absolutely fantastic stuff here. You thought they were going to take it easy now that the game is seeing its way to the end, but the tenacity, the energy that is still here. Look at this nice, good straight running here. The reserve 8th man thought he was going to go all the way. Didn't see the support players there. It mattered not because coming around the corner were the loose forwards. And on this occasion here, it was that man Bolt.
Lucky, I think the scary part for Affies is we're starting to think record time here. They took a couple of 50-pointers against Great College before on this main field. But if you look at the score now, if he converts this, it becomes 46-16. And this might well be one of the biggest losses Affies has ever suffered on their home field.
Certainly so. We'll have to have just a quick look back into the history books to see that, but it will rank way up there as we see another successful conversion there from Neil Leroux. He's had a massive game here. Looking at the man of the match, Wintergreen. I mean, take your pick, Oakdale. It really has been a team performance, hasn't it?
There's been brilliant performances on the side of Oakdale, and even on the Affies side, a couple of great performances. But if I was selecting the man of the match, I know who'd I'd pick. And I think you know who I'd pick as well. Just the calmness, just the composure. It's been absolutely awesome to watch. And, he is highly rated, but sometimes when you are that highly rated, to back it up is pretty difficult. But he's done that, and he's done more than that. Affies, baie trotse skool natuurlik, Lucky. Hulle sal alles in die stryd werp hier en hulle nooit gaan lê tot die laaste fluitjie blaas nie. Leighton Horn wat beheer oor haar die bal verloor en Heymans met so lang aangee en dan pragtig in die middelveld is dit Look. Hierdie man het 'n hoë vaart en 'n baie goeie verdediging. Masilela! Ja, Affies net so ek gesê het, hulle sal nooit gaan lê nie. En miskien kan ons nou eers vergeet van haar rekordtelling, maar ongelooflike goeie beweging, baie goed deur die lyn gesny deur Look. En Masilela wat diep in sy tweede wedstryd nou vandag is 'n Lucky wat hierdie 3 dan druk.
Loose ball here, and first man to pick up on that one there, Peter Rousseau. He does well there, does Ruan to look on these outside. Masilela there, still had plenty of work to do. He did well to come around there, give a 5-pointer there, and certainly a little bit of reprieve on behalf of the hosts.
Yeah, we just heard the hooter go. So this will be the final kick of the match, and what a fitting performance to end off the first day. We've seen 2 standout performances by far. Paul Gymnasium beating Garsfontein by 84 points to 0. And then now we've seen Oakdale totally dismantling Affies on their main field. And, you know, it's what a prospect for later in the year when those two sides meet.
Certainly so. We've seen some really good encounters this afternoon. Take nothing away from the penultimate match that we saw here a little bit earlier. Record-breaking stuff there. Stellenberg victorious there by 1 point in the dying seconds there as well. So we've seen some really great encounters, and what a way to end off the first evening of this week here.
Dis aan die einde van die eerste dag van die Noord-Suid toernooi aangebied met komplimente van Barloworld, Toyota, Menlyn en ongelooflik uitslag vir Oakdale met oorwinning van 46 punte van 46 punte teenoor 21 teenoor die tuiskool en met reg die speler van die wedstryd aangekondig, die Wintergreen speler van die wedstryd, Neil Leroux, wie dan anders. He had such a massive say in this game, Lucky.
Certainly did, and the commendations to him. You could have picked a number of players on the Oakdale team, but he certainly put the team together between backs and forwards. Lovely control, and the passages between him and his forwards. A couple of darting and sniping runs. His kicking and execution in front of goals was something to withhold, and certainly his defense on the line was exemplary.
Lucky, then obviously a lot of highlights will follow tomorrow as well. One of the perennial powerhouse of South African schoolboy rugby, Grey College, playing the main game tomorrow night against Menlo Park. Grey College coming off a loss to Paul Gymnasium at the Mona Centenary Festival. Their first loss in 4 years, so they will be absolutely raring to go and putting that one behind them. And like we said, one of the highlights of today was Stellenberg beating Monument in both the second and the first side game by 1 point. But the evening belongs to the Oakdale from Riversdale, and you can see them celebrating there on the main field as this is the fixtures for tomorrow, and Lucky will take us through them.
Do join us tomorrow again. It's day 2 of the Barloworld Toyota North-South Rugby Festival. The second teams will kick us off first. Teams that we see there, Noortjevel versus Paul. That'll be quite a good one. Help Makar, Otaniqua, Cheese. Take your pick. I mean, it really is star-studded there. We start off at 8:15. The main game tomorrow, Grey College versus Menlo Park. That'll be at 7 o'clock on your screens, but do join us here at Super Sports Schools. If you thought today was big, if you thought today was interesting, it's only going to get bigger as the week goes by, so hopefully you'll be tuned in with us here for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, 8:15 is where we'll be kicking off.
Lucky, like always, it's been a privilege, and have a blessed evening.
Cheers then.